All right, wish you a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to this edition of Sales Ki Pathshala. And the topic today is super exciting. It's super exciting. The topic is the karmas of sales. Yes, friends, we're going to talk about this topic called karmas of sales. And as our friends are still joining in, we are live today together simultaneously on Zoom, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Fantastic. And I would request all of you to please put your videos off. अपनी अपनी वीडियो को बंद कर लीजिए और अपने साउंड को म्यूट कर लीजिए बिकॉज अगर आपका साउंड म्यूट नहीं होगा तो आपकी बैकग्राउंड आवाज आएगी एंड एवरीवन विल गेट डिस्टर्ब्ड ऑन दैट. Yes, Ashok Sen, good evening. I saw your good evening there. So just go on mute, put your videos off. We have a guest here today, Dr. Rakesh Singh from Professor Marketing, IMT Ghaziabad. We are going to have him today to speak his views on the topic. All right, wonderful. We are all set. Guys are still joining in. We are all set. We move on to this topic called the karmas of sales. Fantastic. And whom all do I see there? Okay, I see Himanshi, Imani, Ashok Sen, Charles, Mr. D. Singh, Deepak Chatterjee, Sandeep Meghna, Mili Juneja, Neeraj Srivastav, Nishchay Sinha. Congratulations, Nishchay. I know you have just got engaged. Okay, Dr. Rakesh Singh, Kiran Kumar, Sanjay Agarwal, Somesh Nath, Vaibhav, Ramasubramaniam, Shriya Kumbare. You're all welcome, ladies and gentlemen. On Zoom, I can interact with you directly. All my friends on YouTube and on Instagram, a big welcome to all of you to this edition of Sales Ki Pathshala, which is titled Karmas of Sales. All right, very good. At the onset, let me introduce. So, Dr. Rakesh Singh, can you please put your videos on and give a short introduction of yourself for the benefit of our audience?
Hi, good evening, all of you. I'm Rakesh Singh. I teach marketing, and within marketing, my focus area is in sales. So, sales and salespeople is what I do my research on. So, obviously, Sanjay keeps doing these workshops on Sales Ki Pathshala. I find that very interesting. So, off and on, whenever I find time, I join. So, Sanjay shared with me this idea on sales karma, and that reminded me I did a little bit of work in that area. So I thought maybe I'll also join and share some of my insights with you. I
Thank
currently
you very much.
work with IMT Ghaziabad, where I teach some few courses on marketing. Before doing getting into academics, I worked a long stint in Times of India Group, so I've seen the other side of life, which was more about more active business life, generating revenues. And now, of course, I teach students how to generate revenue. So that's about me. Thank you, Sanjay, for
Fantastic,
having me.
Dr. Rakesh Singh. It's so great to have you here. Friends, we have Dr. Rakesh Singh today for the second time in our Sales Ki Pathshala, and we thank him so much for taking out his precious time. All right, so all set now, geared up to handle this topic called the sales karmas. Fantastic. And what are we going to do today? We are going to cover the theory of karma, and then we are going to see how the theory of karma applies to the karmas of sales. And then we are also going to conclude by trying to understand what are the advantages that we get when we practice the karmas of sales. We have a lot of intelligent people in our audience today, and I'll go around and seek your consonance or your opinion on this topic as we move forward. Friends, the topic today is slightly emotional. I'm very passionate with my profession, so slightly emotional. If you are not involved with the function of sales, you might find today's topic theoretical. We'll try to make it as practical as possible for you. But if you engross yourself in this function of selling, I'm sure you're going to remember this program for some time to come. All right, let's kick off there on that. And on that note, all my friends on Instagram, hey, big hello to all of you. So Prop Nagpur, Strajik, Anu Saluja, you're all welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on Instagram and YouTube. Let's go. So the first thing, the word of wisdom which I want to start with is every karma, which is action, has a resulted karma, which is reaction. So there is a karma, which is action, and you must have read it in the Newton's law that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What are those actions in sales and what are those resultant karmas, which we call reaction in sales, is what we are broadly going to touch upon today. And before we move on with the topic, I first and foremost want to establish the fact that every karma gives two fruits. You know, there are two fruits that you get out of every karma. And the same thing applies for sales karma as well. So what are the first fruit is a primary fruit and the second fruit is a secondary fruit. Now let's understand this with the right context. So when I am doing my sales with a view to achieve my target and I am able to achieve my target, what do you think is achieving the target? Achieving the target, is it a primary fruit or secondary fruit? Please go to the chat box and write down for me so that I know that we are all connected. When I achieve my sales target, is it a primary fruit or secondary fruit? All right, I get an answer from Pratik Soni. He says it's a primary fruit. Kiran Kumar says secondary. Sanjay Agarwal says secondary. All right, okay. Binal Jasani, Ashutosh Soni, Jahir Kashiv. Everyone feels that it's a secondary fruit. Fantastic. All right, Deepak Chatterjee says primary. Satyajit Singh says primary. Okay, that's interesting. So we have a divided house here. We have some people who feel that achieving your sales target is primary fruit, and some of you there feel that it is secondary fruit. I want to understand all those of you who feel that it is secondary fruit. What exactly is the primary fruit then? If I repeat my question, if achieving your sales target is a secondary fruit, then what is the primary fruit? And if achieving your target is the primary fruit, then what exactly is the secondary fruit? And this is where you will get into the right context of sales karmas that we're talking about, friends. So secondary fruit is something that those are the low-lying fruits, low-hanging fruits. So getting a target or achieving a target for me is a secondary fruit. But what is the primary fruit? The primary fruit is the strong relationship that I'm able to maintain with my customer. The primary fruit is the robustness of my relationship that I have with my customer. So a couple of you who have given the right answer, Mr. Subramaniam, and a couple of more, thank you so much for that response. Do we do our sales with the secondary fruit in mind? And I'm putting a question to you that if I address the function of sales with the secondary fruit in mind, then probably I'm not fulfilling the sales karmas at all. While I'm not against fulfilling your targets, of course, if you are a sales professional, you have to fulfill your targets. But do you look at the function of sales as a combination of primary fruit and secondary fruit? If yes, are you aware of primary fruits at all points of time? So let me give you an example. Suppose creating a customer and upgrading the customer to the next model or upselling the customer with more value, if that is the secondary fruit, then what is the primary fruit for you? Can you quickly go to the chat box and write what is the primary fruit for you? My question, I repeat, if upselling to a customer is the secondary fruit, then what is the primary fruit? All right. Okay, I'm waiting for your answer. So Binal Jasani says, providing what client needs, customer relation. All right, Jagrati says customer relation. That's wonderful. Rama Subramaniam says adding value. All right, okay. Adding value, Binal Jasani. Okay. Pratik Soni says relationship and customer requirement. I am so happy, friends, that all of you are thinking. I'm so happy that we are all connected. It's super awesome to be talking to all of you on webinars, which I do for all of you every Wednesday. Let us ask our guest expert today, what does he feel? Does he also feel that there is a secondary fruit and primary fruit, and there are two connotations of every action that you do in your sales karmas? So let's quickly go to our guest faculty today, Dr. Rakesh Singh. Rakesh, can you highlight as to what exactly are your feelings on this subject? I request Puneet Mahajan to please put his video off, sir. Please put your video off. Thank you.
Yeah, see, my understanding about sales karma, or you want to call it salesperson karma, is essentially driven from the concepts of Bhagavad Gita. So there are certain things which are like your immediate results, like you go and you sell to a customer and you get results in the sense of getting the order and all of that, right? So that is one part of it. But the real thing is, which actually defines a good karma for salesperson, is that are you doing it with a sense of duty, sense of responsibility towards the customer? I think that to my understanding, and we actually have a published research paper on this. So to our understanding, this is a first and foremost important thing, that how much sense of duty, sense of responsibility the salesperson brings in, because the secondary fruit that we are talking about is dependent on that. It's going to come from there. So that is number one. That how much. The second is that, again, is sort of connected with the secondary fruit, is that what is the level of attachment with rewards. So is it that you have a very active attachment with the reward? Is it active attachment would mean that I am doing this particular sales call or this order is basically to earn my incentives or earn my bonus, whatever it is. So the reward, is it the reward which is driving your action, or reward is just a part of the result that you are getting out of the action? These two have completely different meaning, right? So you would see that many a times salespeople, the darker side of salespeople, that if they are completely driven by reward, sometimes they hurt customers, and then that is where the karma goes bad, because then they are not working in the best interest of the customer. So either they are over promising, or they are creating some kind of a problem for the relationship between the firm and the customers. So this is where the karma can go back. The third one, which I think is extremely important, and especially again for the secondary fruit part, is how much external environment, how much it influences you as a salesperson. Do you start getting very depressed by adverse situation, or you start getting so elated with a favorable situation? That is something that a good salesperson, or should we say a karmic salesperson, shouldn't be having. So he has to have a good level of equanimity towards those influences. So if he knows that, all right, uh, a competitor is also pitching for the same business, he doesn't have to feel threatened. He doesn't have to feel, rather his response has to be that, okay, if that be the competitive bidding, or competitive response, so how do I look at the customer value and try and expand it, rather than just lowering the price?
Wow.
Because if he doesn't do anything like this, he hurts everyone. So he hurts the firm, because the firm's margin goes down, and
Great.
the customer who was to get a better value, he is deprived of that.
Great.
So these influences can
Fantastic, Rakesh Singh. We have got three excellent tips from you. And I
yeah.
know you have more tips for us. Just hang on to it as
All
as
right,
the
so you
program
carry on.
unfolds.
Yeah, sure.
No, we don't want to lose you there. I hope you are there with us for the rest of the program.
Yes. I'll be around. I'll be around. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Three excellent tips Rakesh Singh gave us. He said that the duty is important, so don't get carried away by your secondary fruits. The duty is important. All right. Apart from duty, he said that don't get drawn by external forces. Take your life as it comes because you are a karmic salesperson. Fantastic. I think he couldn't have explained the secondary fruit and primary fruit in a better sense. So, all those of you who have joined us late on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing Sales Ki Pathshala on the topic the karmas of sales. So, Rakesh Kriplani and others, Ankit Thakre, you're all welcome. So, stay updated on the topic. Fantastic. We have a guest faculty today, Dr. Rakesh Singh, Professor Marketing, IMT Ghaziabad. Let's move on. So, Rakesh just told us about the karmic law of cause and effect. And essentially, if we speak in the language of science, the karmas of sales says that focus on the cause, the effect will come. Just focus on the cause, because if you focus on the cause, there is no way the effect will not come. So, if you focus on the suspect data, by default, you will start thinking as per customer silos. If you focus on lead magnets, by default, you will be drawn towards brand positioning. If you focus on prospecting, and I'm sure you understand all those words, so if you focus on prospecting, by default, you will get into market awareness. I'm sorry. So if you look at all the elements on the cause side, and if you see the corresponding elements on the right-hand column, you will see what is the effect of every cause. And the karmic law of sales says that, ladies and gentlemen, don't get carried away by the effect. The effect will come when it has to come. Instead, focus on the cause. If the focus on cause is good, the effect will come. That's what the karmic law of cause and effect says. And I'm sure this PPT is self-explanatory. All those of you who are there, we are going to share this PPT with you so you can go through that in detail. Fantastic. Let me just go to the chat box and see if any one of you has put any question. All right, Pratik Soni says, agreed with Singh, sir. All right, thank you, Pratik. And Meghna Sinha says, public and customer relations with value added to the same. All right, thank you very much for that response, Meghna. You're welcome. Fantastic. No questions till now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions to ask, please go to the chat box and put your question. That's important that we are connected. Fantastic. Now let's look at one of the laws of sales karma. And for me, the law of sales karma says that what goes around comes around. Again, based on the cause and effect cycle. So whatever goes around comes around. जैसे हमारे हिंदू शास्त्र में कहते हैं कि आप अगर अच्छाई बांटोगे तो वो घूम फिर के अच्छाई आप तक वापस आ जाएगी. So that's what I mean by what goes around comes around. Now, let us take some real-time cases to see what goes around comes around or not. So let us look at this emblem here. We say new contacts every day. So that's a sales karma. Matlab ki, do I meet new people every day? That's a karma. हम में से कुछ सेल्समैन है जो सिर्फ फॉलोअप में बिजी रहते हैं और फॉलोअप करते रहते हैं, नए लोगों को नहीं मिलते. तो फॉलोअप करते रहोगे, एक दिन फॉलोअप खत्म हो जाएगी, पाइपलाइन ड्राई हो जाएगा. तो ओके, द कर्मा इज न्यू कॉन्टैक्ट एवरी डे. दिस लीड्स टू न्यू लीड्स एवरी डे. अगर आप नए लोगों को हर रोज मिलेंगे और एक निर्धारित रकम मिलेंगे तो डेफिनेटली आपकी न्यू लीड्स एवरी डे बनेगी. And new leads every day leads to new customers every day. And new customers every day leads to a new contact list every day. Can you see that cycle? What goes around comes around. Now you might say कि sir, हर रोज लीड बनेंगे तो जरूरी थोड़ी है कि हर रोज क्लोज होंगे, तो न्यू कस्टमर्स एवरीडे कैसे हो जाएगा? दोस्तों, न्यू कस्टमर्स आज की लीड से कस्टमर नहीं बनेगा, लेकिन 5 दिन के पहले की लीड से कस्टमर बनेगी. तो ये साइकिल चलता रहता है. एंड दिस इज नोन एज द कार्मिक साइकिल ऑफ सेल्स. So if you understand what I mean to say, what goes around comes around. आइए एक और उदाहरण देखते हैं. न्यू सेल एवरी डे. देखिए एक और उदाहरण है. मैंने पिछले बार ये उदाहरण दिखाया था. नाउ आई एम शोइंग यू दिस एग्जांपल. So if there is a new sale every day, for example, that means there will be a new installation every day. And if there is a new installation every day, that means every day there is a chance of a new fan coming up. Ki, wow, Sanjay Singh, you're so good. There is a chance. And then that leads to a new referral every day. Can you see the sales karma cycle there? What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. तो मैं बहुत सारे सेल्स मैनेजर को जानता हूं जो सर पे हाथ रख के बैठे रहते हैं कि सर इस महीने मुझे रेफरल नहीं मिला. Sir, this month I did not get enough contacts. And I quietly asked him, that gentleman, did you perform your sales karmas? Because इस month अगर आपको referral नहीं मिला है, so if you go back on that karmic cycle, you see, no referral, going back to no fans, going back to no installation, and going back to no sale every day. So again, new sale every day को पीछे जाएंगे, तो अगेन उसको पीछे ऐसे करते करते पीछे जाएंगे तो न्यू कॉन्टैक्ट एवरी डे तक पहुंच जाएंगे. सो इफ यू सी दिस साइकिल लीड्स टू दिस साइकिल. दैट्स द सेकंड साइकिल. एंड दिस सेकंड साइकिल विल अल्टीमेटली लीड यू टू दिस थर्ड साइकिल. कैन यू सी दैट? So complaint not attended today will lead to an irate customer today, which in turn will lead to a negative word of mouth in the market today, which in turn will lead to poor customer satisfaction index today. So if you see that cycle, and if you understand that how what goes around comes around works for all of us in sales. At this juncture, I am getting hungry to go across to Dr. Rakesh Singh and ask him about his opinion on what goes around comes around. Does he also believe in this theory? And does he have anything to add to this point? What goes around comes around. Yes, Dr. Rakesh.
Yeah, so see, there is something called a farmer orientation in salespeople. You know, and basically that means that how does a salesperson nurture relationship? How does he invest into that? So one is that salespeople go on looking at scouting for customers who can be his immediate customers. Then there are a set of customers where he has to continue working on that. Now, consider this point of view that it's like an investment. So the way we say that the way you invest, the similar kind of return you would expect, right? So here, in terms of the investment of time, in a B2B context, certain knowledge about the industry that the salesperson could be having, knowledge about the customer firm's customers, that how his product is going to help the customer firm in serving its customers very well in a much better way. So how does the salesperson actually invest his resources in terms of time, knowledge, right, and bring it to the customers so that over a period of time, with that farming orientation, over a period of time, the harvest gets ready for him to take it back to his farm. So that is something which is extremely important from this point of view. That
wow,
whatever you are putting into the marketplace, you're going to reap benefit out of it.
Super. We are blessed to have Dr. Rakesh Singh here today. Sorry, Dr. Rakesh Singh, you were saying something.
Yeah, so that is one. The second thing, which is again very important, is that if you, I'm saying that most of you here are sales leaders. So if you invest in your salespeople in a way that they also do the similar kind of things, so the knowledge that they are getting, one is that the knowledge what the firm has, they are taking it to the customer. The second is that the knowledge that they get at the customer interaction, they're bringing it to their firm. So what we call in academic terms is knowledge brokering. So the salesperson actually becomes a knowledge broker. And
wow,
out of this knowledge brokering, your customer and you as a firm, you prosper, you flourish, your relationship gets even stronger. So there is a lot of merit in inculcating this value into salespeople, that please go ahead and invest in customers in terms of the resources that you have. Essentially, I'm talking about the time and the knowledge. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Some of you, I can hear the background noise. Please go on mute, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Rakesh. Two important things that you taught us right now. One is that every salesman needs to have a farming orientation. So normally we always say that a salesman
Sanjay,
needs to be a hunter. Yes, Rakesh.
Yeah, Sanjay, I'll take your leave because I have to run into another meeting at 4:30. Right?
All right. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thanks.
Rakesh Singh, for your excellent inputs there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much there. All right. So Dr. Rakesh taught us about how you need to have a farming orientation and how you can become a knowledge broker. I love that statement. How do you become a knowledge broker, and how this knowledge broking translates to a karmic salesperson? I'm sure you can put your views into that. And let's quickly move forward. The next law of karmas of sales says that givers gain. If you give, you will get. हमारे हिंदू में कहावत है कि जो देता है वो दाता है और जो मांगता है वो भिखारी है. तो if you are the giver, you are a god, and if you are the taker, you are a beggar. And I'm sure you understand what I mean by that. So we need to understand, as per karmas of sales, as to what are you going to give to your customer. Don't be greedy in asking, what am I going to take from the customer? Because whatever you are going to give to the customer, if the customer is going to take that from you, then everything else that happens is a resultant. So if the customer is taking something from you, he's going to give you an order in return. He's going to make payment to you in return. He's going to give you profits in return. So the karmas of sales says, don't bother about the results. Be a giver. Now, how do you become a giver? And I want to quickly take some examples there, that what can a salesperson give? Because if you give, you will get. So what all can you give? And we are 30 minutes into the program today. Another 30 minutes left for the program. Ladies and gentlemen, are you enjoying this Pathshala? Can you quickly go to the chat box and write E so that I know that you're all enjoying this program? Yes, I just want you to write an E. Thank you so much. That's super fast. Oh my God, I can't even read it at the speed at which you're writing E. That shows that you're all connected. Thank you so much. Someone has written yes, E. That means yes, I'm enjoying. That's lovely. Rama Subramaniam from Hyderabad. Thank you so much for those. All right, let's come back. What can a salesperson give? All right, and let's look at, can you give referrals? And at this juncture, I want to take one small story to all of you. I'm a business performance coach. I'm a sales consultant. And I was very surprised once, one of my customers in Pune, he called me and he asked me that, Sanjay, can you tell me how my customer can improve their business? And I was like surprised, pleasantly surprised. I said, this is the first time that a customer is calling me not to improve his own business, but he's calling me to seek my advice as to how I could improve his customer's business. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yes. I was talking to a steel manufacturer who was manufacturing TMT bars. And these TMT bars are going to the market through distributors. So he told me that, Sanjay, please give me an advice how my distributors can do better business. Because if the distributor can do better business, then his business will also improve. So we have to start thinking as to how I can give more and more referrals to our clients. When we talk about referrals, we always say that how can I get more and more referrals? But here I'm not saying that. I'm saying that how can you give more and more referrals to people out there in the market? Can you connect your customers to more such customers for them? Think about it. The next point is, what kind of service can you give which helps you do upgrade sale or cross-selling? That's another thing that you can give to your customers. You can give excellent service to your customers, and in return do upselling and cross selling. You can give, as Rakesh just told all of us, knowledge broking advice. What is advice? That's knowledge broking. So you can be a great knowledge broker for your customer. So the consulting approach to selling gives lifetime value of customers to salesperson. What else can you give? You can give excellent training to your customers. And excellent training. Why should I give excellent training to my customer? Why should I give excellent training to my customer? Let me ask someone in the audience there. All right, I can see it on the video. We have Rajesh Singh all the way from London. So Rajesh, if you're there with me, can you have your audio on?
Yeah, I'm on.
All right, Rajesh, you're welcome to this program. So I want to know that why should I give great training to my customer? I mean, why? What am I going to get in return?
Well, if they are trained well to use your product, then they'll use the product as it's meant to be used. That gives them maximum advantage of the product, and then that will leave them satisfied. And satisfied customers always refer better customers to us. So it's like win-win for everyone.
Fantastic. That's bang on, Rajesh. Thank you very much for that answer. So I give great training to my customer because I believe that giving great training is a karma of sales, which gives me in return more opportunities to cross sell, more opportunities to reference sell. So I don't give training because my customer is demanding it. I don't give training because that's a part and parcel of the terms and conditions that I have done with the customer. I continuously keep on giving extra training to my customer because the customer is going to make best use of my product. And when the customer makes best use of my product, very soon my product becomes obsolete for him. And when my product becomes obsolete for him, he asks me, what next? And then I quickly go and do an upsell. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, upselling is a thought proactive strategy. Upselling is not it's something that just comes your way. And the fifth thing that you can give to as a salesperson to your customers is listening. I mean, I have been into sales for last 38 years, and let me tell you, I come across very few salespersons who give a listening ear to the customer. And what do I mean by listening? Do you listen to your customer only when they complain? Or do you listen to your customers even when they are not complaining? And that's what makes a huge difference, friends. If you're a karmic salesperson, you want to listen to your customers even when they are not complaining. In fact, I want to listen to my customers so much that I don't give them a cause to complain. Why wait for their complaint to come? Why not keep on listening to them? Well, for some of you, this might sound like theory, but for me, these are the karmas which makes my life as a salesperson very successful. These are the karmas which will actually catapult me into the karmic circle. And moving ahead, friends, we want to introduce this concept of equanimity. And equanimity is the principle on which the entire theory of karma is based. What is equanimity? Well, under equanimity, I want to say that irrespective of the result, I repeat, irrespective of the result, actual or expected, I continue to perform my karmas. So let me take an example. Suppose I am trying to meet new people, new contacts, and I get frustrated because of the rejections that I'm getting from the new contacts. So the moment I get frustrated, I stop making those new calls because I am associating myself with the results. I'm attaching myself with the results. Now, a karmic salesperson is someone who is equanimous. Equanimous means he does not attach himself or herself with the result. He keeps on doing his karmas. So no matter whether the customer is rejecting you, no matter whether the customer is accepting you, or the customer is smiling on you, you are a karmic salesperson, you are equanimous, it does not bother you. You keep on doing your karmas and results will come. That's what we mean by that. So I'm sure you understand the power of being equanimous. Can you go to the chat box and write EQ for me so that I know you know the power of equanimity? Just go to the chat box, ladies and gentlemen, and type EQ. EQ. Thank you very much. All right, very good. Rama Subramaniam, Pratik Soni, Sandeep, Punit Mahajan, Sarvesh Pathak. All right, great, Amrita. Thank you so much. So you understand equanimity. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself is, are you equanimous? क्या आपके कर्म आपके रिजल्ट से अटैच्ड होते हैं? जब आप टेलीकॉलिंग करते हो और 3 लोगों ने अगर फोन पटक दिया तो क्या आपको बुरा लगने लगता है? और क्या आप आगे के टेलीफोन कॉल्स बंद कर देते हैं? अगर हाँ, तो यू आर नॉट इक्वानिमस. अगर आप कोल्ड कॉलिंग कर रहे हैं एंड आफ्टर डूइंग 4 knocks you feel frustrated, you feel let down, does that happen to you? That means you are not being equanimous. Why are you equanimous? Why can't you be equanimous? Because the law of karma says that rejection will lead you to selection. Every rejection takes you one step closer to selection. So there is a hit ratio, friends. If you are working on a hit ratio of 10:1, then every time you get rejected, you are one step closer to that one that you're going to close. All right, fantastic. So equanimity is the theorem, and I want to quickly take you on to the lingering sales karma and how to correct it. So if you look at the screen, there are 3 kinds of karmas. One is known as Sanchit karma. Sanchit karma means think now, act later. Second is known as Kriyaman karma, which is think now, act now. And third is known as Prarabdha karma, which means actions of yesterday. So ladies and gentlemen, all of us have got these 3 karmas. So Sanchit karma is based on your thoughts, Kriyaman karma is based on your will, and Prarabdha karma is based on your past action. Now, isn't it great? I mean, every theory of management is so well explained in our scriptures, in our Upanishads, in our Gita. This Sanchit karma, Kriyaman karma, and Prarabdha karma is taken out from the 7th Arthashastra. And what does it really mean? In sales, there are so many actions, so many thoughts, which we think now and act later. So for example, if I think that I must know what is the market share that I'm enjoying in this particular market. So I think about it now, and then I say, okay, I will work on it later. So that's a Sanchit karma. Kriyaman karma. So I'm sitting across on a sales call, and I feel that giving a discount of 2% will help me bag this order. So I quickly give that 2% discount then and there and get the order. Kriyaman karma. Think now, act now. Prarabdha karma. And this is past. You cannot rewrite it. You cannot unwrite it. But then that's there with you. So if you have irritated a customer in the past, if you have vexed a customer in the past, or if your customer relationship has been bad in the past, there is no way you can escape it. So rather than trying to escape from it, attack it. Service it, give that extra service so that you are able to overwrite on your Prarabdha karma. Don't try to escape from your Prarabdha karma, because these are the 3 lingering sales karmas which are always there with you. Now the question here, and which I'm trying to ask you, the question here is, do you choose your Prarabdha karma? Of course you can't, because that's the past. Do you consciously choose your Kriyaman karma and Sanchit karma? And that's a very, very interesting thing to address. And I can see that I have Mr. Punit Mahajan, Executive Director of Shilpa Rolling. So Punit, can I have you on the screen with your video and audio on? I want to quickly ask you, Punit, that do you program your Sanchit karma and Kriyaman karma? Yes, Punit, good evening. Good evening. Good to have you here.
Good evening, Sanjay. Good evening, everybody. Think now, act later. It is all from the inside, and even the Kriyaman Karma, think now, act now. That's the basic thing for a CEO or for a head to act upon. The Kriyaman Karma plays a major role.
Absolutely. And what we are talking about here, Puneet, is if these things can be programmed, then we can be more responsive. Otherwise, we are generally reactive.
Yes,
We go by the gut feeling. We feel कि इतने साल से काम कर रहे हैं, मेरा gut feeling सही होगा. और आपको भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है कि बहुत बार हमारी gut feeling गलत हो जाती है.
absolutely.
So let's program them. Let's program our Sanchit Karma and Kriya Kaman Karma. Let's not run away from our Prarabdha Karma. Let's address the Prarabdha Karmas. So those are the lingering sales karmas for all of you friends. Coming down to 12 acts of sales karma. Thank you very much, Puneet, there. Thank you very much. Rajesh, you can put your video off if you want. Thank you so much. So coming back to 12 sales karmas on the screen, we have 15 more minutes to talk. And I want to quickly explain those 12 sales karmas to you. Okay, let me see if I get time, I come back to that. How to attract the right people to your business. There is something called the law of attraction. And the law of attraction says that if you think about something, you will be attracted towards that output. So if I'm continuously thinking about exporting to, if I continuously think that I need to export to Denmark, I need to export to Denmark, then suddenly roads will start opening for me and I will start exporting to Denmark. It's peculiar. I don't know what is the rationale behind it, but it happens. So there is this very wonderful poem which says that slept and dreamt that life is a beauty. I awoke and found that life is a duty. All right. And that's a karma realization. Do you know what are your sales duties? That leads to the law of attraction. And if you look at the screen here, friends, let me start from here, doer. So you have to be first the doer. कर्मा का मतलब होता है आप करता हैं, कर्ता, यानी आप उस काम को कर रहे हैं. अगर आप सिर्फ श्रोता हैं या अगर आप सिर्फ बैठ के सुनने वाले हैं या बैठ के पढ़ने वाले हैं या बैठ के देखने वाले हैं, तो आपका कर्म योगी से कोई लेना देना नहीं. कर्मा मतलब it starts that you are a karta, you are a doer. So if you are a doer, then definitely you will be doing some work. So if you look at the screen, doer will give you to some work. The moment you start doing some work, you will get some senses, which is what we call insights in management. And when you start getting insights through your senses, then you become the knower. That means you start getting some know-how. And once you arrive at a critical mass of know-how, then you become knowledgeable. And then this knowledge slowly gets onto object of knowledge, which is what we call wisdom. So that's what it starts. You will get wisdom, you will get your object of knowledge only when you trace back this cycle and when you find that you are a karta. तो इस कर्मा की जो रियलाइजेशन है दोस्तों, ये जो सेल्स कर्मा की रियलाइजेशन है, उसका कहना है कि अगर अल्टीमेटली आपके जिंदगी में सेल्स के एनलाइटनमेंट को आना है, अगर आपको अपनी जिंदगी में सेल्स की पकड़ पानी है, तो शुरुआत कहां से करना पड़ेगा? यू हैव टू स्टार्ट बाय बीइंग ए डूअर. तो सबसे पहले कर्ता बनिए, कर्ता बनिए, कार्य करना चालू कीजिए. जैसे जैसे आप कार्य करना चालू करेंगे, अपने आप ये कार्मिक साइकिल आपके लाइफ में उतर जाएगी. So if any one of you has any question to ask me on this karmic cycle, please put it on the comment box, chat box, as the case may be. For those of you on Instagram, I'm watching your comments. You can put them on the comment box there. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much there. Fantastic. All right. Right, let's take it forward. I'm rushing on time, 12 more minutes to do this. Let's quickly understand what is Sukarma and what is Kukarma in sales. All right. So if you see the chart there, Sukarma means good karma. Now, if you look at, if I have fear and doubt in sales, if I have fear and doubt, a lot of us have fear. मेरा टारगेट पूरा होगा कि नहीं, मुझे उससे मिलना चाहिए कि नहीं, उसके सारे सवालों का जवाब मैं दे पाऊंगा कि नहीं, मुझे ये काम के लिए ट्रैवल करना चाहिए कि नहीं, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. ऐसे बहुत सारे फियर और डाउट्स रहते हैं सेल्समैन के दिमाग में. अगर आपके दिमाग में फियर अथवा डाउट है, आप अपने सेल्स मैनेजर के पास जाइए, उसको क्लियर कर लीजिए. अगर एज ए सेल्स पर्सन इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू क्लियर योर फियर्स एंड डाउट्स, दिस विल क्रिएट एन ईगो इन योर. सो ईगो का जन्म आपके फियर एंड डाउट से होता है. एंड वंस यू हैव ए ईगो इन यू एज अ सेल्स पर्सन, then you will get a desire, and unfortunately this desire is not something that is of your choice. और जब मेरी डिजायर ऐसी होती है जो मेरी चॉइस की नहीं है, तो जो एक्शन मैं लेता हूं उसे कुकर्म कहा जाता है. आइए एक बार फिर से रिपीट करता हूं, दिस इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. अगर सेल्स के कैरियर में आपके अंदर बहुत सारे फियर और डाउट्स हैं, yani if you have a lot of fear and doubts in your mind, then this will create ego in you, which is known as a false ego and alter ego. And once you have the ego has this tendency to create a desire, and the problem here is that this desire is not out of your choice. Yes, and if you do anything which is not of your choice, तो मैं ऐसे बहुत सारे सेल्समैन को जानता हूं जो डरते हैं कस्टमर से मिलने के लिए. तो चूंकि डरते हैं तो उनके मन में एक ईगो पैदा हो जाती कि ये कस्टमर अगर मेरी बेइज्जती कर दिया तो क्या होगा, और इस ईगो से एक डिजायर आता है कि नहीं यार चलो फिर भी मिलना तो पड़ेगा ही. तो जब ऐसी डिजायर को लेके आगे बढ़ते हैं तो बिल्कुल कुकर्म कर बैठते हैं. एंड इसी को अगर सुकर्मा में बदलना है तो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस स्क्रीन ऑन दैट वी आर सीइंग ऑन द लेफ्ट. The orange patch is all about Sukarma, and on the right, the white patch is all about Kukarma. All right, great. So Sukarma starts with equanimity. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be a karmic salesperson. You have to master equanimity. मतलब रिजल्ट से मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मैं अपने कर्म को करता रहूंगा. So when you start with equanimity, you lead to a duty, and this duty is out of your choice. It is not out of ego, and this duty leads to happiness. So this is the Su sales karma cycle. Similarly, if you start with a need, अगर आप सेल्स इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि आपको तनख्वाह कमाना है, आपको घर चलाना है, आपको राशन लाना है, तो नीड से चालू हुआ काम ग्रीड में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, और ग्रीड हमेशा अनहैप्पीनेस की तरफ लेके जाती है. तो कू सेल्स कर्मा तैयार हो जाता है. तो करना क्या है, ये जो मैं इतनी देर से आपसे बात कर रहा हूं, आप सोच रहे होंगे कि करना क्या है. वेल, आपको बस अपनी शुरुआत इक्वानिमिटी से करनी है. आप इक्वानिमस हो जाइए, आप अपने आप को रिजल्ट से अलग कर लीजिए. रिजल्ट को जब आना है तब आ जाएगा, आप अपने कर्मास पे फोकस कीजिए. दैट्स व्हाट आई कॉल इक्वानिमस. एंड द मोमेंट यू गेट द पावर ऑफ इक्वानिमिटी, automatically you will become duty bound, and that will lead to happiness. Fantastic. Just write S and K in the chat box so that I know what you understand. Okay, I see a question there. Prarabdh is destiny, Sanchit is fruit of past karma, Agami karma. All right, there is some PhD on karmas there. I can share something on Prarabdh. Please also speak on Nitya and Naimitya karma. Okay, great. I think the gentleman is Galaxy. All right, Mr. Galaxy, can you please unmute yourself? You seem to be interesting. You have done some studies on karma. I'm sorry, I can't get your name there, Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay, could you quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Naresh, and you know me, but unfortunately, it is reflecting my.
Naresh from Spacewood. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. We can't see you clearly, Naresh. Just put your video. Yeah, slightly up. Yeah. Thank you so much, Naresh.
Namaste ji, I am not able to see my own video, but that doesn't matter. I'll be brief and quick. Uh, uh, my understanding of the little that I've read on the karmic theory is uh, it has a wonderful connect to sales the way you have put it. In fact, there is no closer aspect to business with karma than sales. That is because a salesperson's life uh, changes from one company to another if he moves, and therefore he carries his past life. That means the sales activity that he has done in a previous company to the next company. Thus, his sanchit karma comes into play. That means whatever activity he has done in the past company affects the sales activity he is going to do in the next company. Therefore, it is very necessary that in the life of a salesperson, he should pay attention to su-karma, as you explained it. And then we come to agami karma. So whatever karma you do on a day-to-day basis has to be su-karma because it is going to affect your future life. The next place that you go to is going to be affected by whatever activity you're doing presently. And therefore, the karmic cycle has tremendous impact in a salesperson's life. I also
And-
wanted
Yes, Naresh.
I also wanted to add one quick word on what is Nitya Karma and Naimitya Karma. Nitya Karma is whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. I have been very lucky to be part of Sanjay ji's courses many times in the past, where he would insist on so many day-to-day activities that have to be done as a matter of discipline. And that brings in the concept of Nitya Karma. Naimitya Karma is a karma that has to be interpreted as regulatory karma, something that is being enforced on you by regulation. For instance, say taxation or some such regulatory framework. Now, that is Naimitya karma as per our scriptures. In the scriptures, the Naimitya karma is that which is ordained upon you by your tradition, your family tradition, whatever you need to do in accordance with your family. Therefore, the whole karmic theory is, in short, a tremendous theory for human interaction, and no person in business interacts more than the salesperson. Salesperson is immediately that person, whatever level he might be in the organization, the one who has maximum interaction with people affecting the company, namely the customer. Therefore, I thought I must.
Fantastic, Naresh Iyer, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Naresh Iyer is a HR expert, having spent a lot of his time into project management and into sales. Presently, he is an independent consultant and has a lot of working experience in Dubai, Middle East, and with companies like Spacewood. So thank you very much, Naresh, for those vital inputs there. Thank you so much, every one of us who has spent more than 25 years into sales. Do realize the importance of the karmic cycle in sales. And the whole effort is that youngsters who are there in this program should understand the importance of karmic cycle so that you are able to invent your karmic cycle rather than wait for becoming 50 years old and then you discover your karmic cycle. It becomes too late to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen there, Sales Karma Yogi. If you see the tiger sitting in the center with a lot of poise and a lot of peace, no stress on his face, that's my Karma Yogi. If you are a sales Karma Yogi, you will never see stress in your life. You will never have the stress of month ends. You will never have the stress of people threatening you, rebuking you, demanding from you. No. You would have served all those people much before they even thought about you. That Karma Yogi sitting on the screen right there in the center is a tiger with a lot of calm and poise because he does not work for the target. He does not work for the result. He works because he is passionate about his job. He works because he has a Nitya Karma defined. He works because he does not run away from his Prarabdha Karma. He works because he wants to have all his karmas in place and he is equanimous. He is equanimous because he wants to stay connected to the work and not connected to the result. So, friends, with those words, I bring an end to today's Sales Ki Pathshala, the karmas of sales, very dear to me. I know this is not a subject which can really be justified in 1 hour's time, but Sales Ki Pathshala is all about coming to you every Wednesday. We have been doing it for the last 3 years, 4 to 5 p.m. Every Wednesday, we come to you with a new topic. Today was Karmas of Sales. All those of you who are interested to participate in our upcoming Sales Ki Pathshala, please note down the numbers there where you can contact them for registration. And just because we have a Sales Ki Pathshala every week, so coming week, we have this very interesting topic called storytelling in sales. जी हाँ दोस्तों, अगले वेडनेसडे की टॉपिक है स्टोरी टेलिंग इन सेल्स, coming on 22nd July, 4 to 5 p.m. It's a trademark product of Strategic Concept. We call it Sales Katha. So Sales Katha is a proprietary product that we have designed, which is basically revolving around storytelling in sales. So all those of you who want to join me up on the 22nd of July, please don't forget to register yourself so that we can patch up together and get onto the storytelling in sales, which is Sales Katha. Before we say goodbye to each other, can we quickly have your videos on? Yes, can we quickly have your videos on so that we could be talking to each other and understanding how did you like the program today and what is that one thing that you're going to take away from this program. So quickly from there, all right, I have Mr. Pratik Soni with the red blood background in the, all right, Mr. Pratik Soni, just unmute yourself. वो एक चीज जो आप लेके जाएंगे आज के प्रोग्राम से.
Do your karma. Don't worry about results.
Equanimity. All right, that's equanimity. Do your karma. Don't worry about results. Thank you so much. Sanjay Agarwal. Sanjay, unmute yourself.
Yes, this will be, sir, new sales every day for every.
New sales every day. All right. Puneet Mahajan, thank you very much for investing your time in this program. What is that one thing that you're going to take away from this program?
So equanimity, calmness, and inner happiness in doing sales.
All right, equanimity. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to see my old friend, Mr. Samir Deshmukh, in the program. Samir, you're welcome to this program. Please
Thank you,
tell me,
Sanjay.
what is that one thing that you're going to carry away today?
Lage raho.
Lage raho. All right, so he's not going to say bajate raho. He says lage raho. Jahan bajna hai wo baji jayega. All right, very good. Somesh
Thank
Nath.
you.
Oh my God, so many old friends joining me today. Somesh Nath from Telco, Lucknow.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The takeaway was that cause and effect. Okay. So karmic sales, cause, and sales dharma achieved is the effect.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much there. Okay. I have Rajesh Singh from UK, London. Rajesh, what is your takeaway today?
Lots of takeaways. I think the interesting thing was the Sukarma and Kukarma, and it brings the distinction of choice in. It's essentially you choose what you're going to do, not just do it because logic says that you must do that, but it is because you choose to do that, and that creates responsibility in the way you approach it.
Excellent. Excellent. Because anything that you do which is not out of your choice, it's somewhere backed by an ego, which is a false ego, and that creates a kukarma. Excellent. Thank you so much there. Naresh Iyer, you are so well read on this topic, karmas. Any final comments on this before we close the webinar today? You're on mute, Naresh. You're on mute.
The beauty of your lecture today was that contrary to popular perception, it has to be a karma yoga. It's not just that he can be, but he has to be a karma yoga. The normal perception is a salesperson is a person only interested in getting something from, but he has nothing more than that. except probably the salary that he takes home. But you have shown through this lecture that not only is he giving a lot, but he's also getting something for himself far more in value for his personal development, which is becoming a karma. Thank you.
Fantastic, Naresh. Thank you so much. And I'm such a strong believer of Karma Yogi. And as a sales coach, it is my job to make a Karma Yogi out of every salesperson. And that's what I've invested this life into. And oh my God, I can see my God in front of me. All right. Okay, Mr. D Singh, my father, my God, he is there in this program. Can you tell your views on the program today?
Just I will say in one sentence, Karmanve dhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana. Do your work, do the right work. Don't bother for the result. Result is a byproduct. It will come. That's all.
Wow, I don't think there could have been a better way to summarize today's program. Karmanadhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana. So don't get attached to results, just give in your best, and the best is waiting for you around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to put an end to this webinar at this juncture, but don't forget that I love you and I would love to see you every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. For now, it is bye-bye from my side. Thank you very much. Take care.